Why, hello! Hey, YouTube friends. How's it going today? Happy Friday. We're here in April. Can you believe it? I haven't been with you guys in real time in quite a while. I was away in Texas for 3 weeks and came home, got sick, all that good stuff, and now I'm trying to get back into the groove of scrapbooking, so I thought I would hop on today and do a little process video and see how things are going. So I just want to welcome you here at Dee's Creative Corner. My name is Danielle Coleman. I'm a Creative Memories independent advisor and I love scrapbooking, and so do you. That's why you're here. So I hope everybody is doing well and you're printing pictures, staying healthy. The weather is doing well up here in Saskatoon. We are in, Celsius, we're at about 10 to 12, and that's about in the low 50s. And Fahrenheit, I'm learning all this being up in Canada. So spring is finally sprung and the snow is melting and all that good stuff. So I hope you guys have flowers blooming wherever you're coming from and doing well. So I want to thank all of my subscribers, my new, my existing, ones coming on. I appreciate each and every one of you. So all right, let's get started. I'll flip you guys over and we'll see what Danielle is going to work on today. All right. Hello. So as I've said in previous videos, we're working on the Hawaii album, and I have just been going through my stash and seeing what I have low supplies and working from there. So I wanted to dive in, and we are going to be doing some mixed media. We're going to use some my Creative Memories as always, and I'm going to be using some Stampin' Up stuff. So I have been slowly getting more familiar with the different stamps and dies. I was really naive to all of it in the very beginning, and I'm learning very slowly, and I'm enjoying getting all of the new techniques out there with all the different demonstrators and creators. So here you see on my desk, this is what I have. This is an old kit from 2020. This is an old vitamin C, and this is what I have left. I have quite a few of the laser borders. Those were in a different spot, so I kind of forgot about those. And then I have a few matte cards, and I don't have a ton of stickers, and that's where my inspiration, because I'm like, when I'm lacking embellishments, I really struggle trying to decorate the page. And I am a very simple scrapper, but I like to try different things. So that's why I have been investing in different stamps and dies and different ways to complete collections when you only have a few things left. So so when I was looking through this, and I had just a couple pieces of designer paper left, and they're very, very busy. So I'm not going to use these ones today. These ones just didn't go very well. And then what I found was just these, this is like a sand dollar seashell type paper. It was a 12 by 12, and I liked that side. And then this just blue and black, very basic pattern. It had some lighter blue on the back, but I was trying to kind of match and keep it simple for my photos. So I will bring in my photos. I'm going to, this was our first full day on the Waikiki beach, and we were down there at probably 7 a.m. right before the sun was rising, so it was still a little dark. So I'm just documenting a few of those morning beach photos, and And then, you know, these were up on our balcony, and I thought those would be a good focal photos. So that's what we're doing today. And so my inspiration came from Brenda Rose, a sketch that I did on one of my fall pages. So it's not too terribly difficult for cutting. So I'm going to set this stuff aside for now, and I'm going to start with my two 12 by 12 pages of white cardstock, and these are actually the inserts from my page protectors that I had, so I like to use those. And we do have bright white as well. And then I also have craft paper that I'm going to use for some of the blocks, because I thought that went well with the seashell paper. So I was having a hard time trying to find the right blues for our photos, you know, with my husband's shirt and the water, and I had a royal blue suit on, so I was really, the blues are really hard to match, and I figured this was a little darker, so it's not exact. That's kind of how I got this blue, and plus I wanted to work and use up some of my stash. So I'm bringing in also some different embellishments that I was brave and I did some stamping and die cutting. This is my first time. I was excited, so I'll talk a little bit more about that. So I'm going to set those aside, and for our first go, the big block is there's like an 8x8 square with some circles, and I thought that this could be our big, one of our blocks underneath. So I'm going to make this an 8x8 block. So I will get cutting. So, and then I will be using my custom cutting system and using some circles. And so let's get this out. We're going to do an 8x8 square. This allows you to use up some of your patterns, and then, so, you know, we're going to do that, and then we're going to, off of this paper, we're going to make some circles. So let's get my circles out. These are the custom cutting circles, and I will be making a 5-inch and a 4-inch circle. So okay, so we have our circles cut at a 4 and a 5-inch. So I'm going to set those aside, and then with this pattern paper, I'm going to make some 4x4 blocks, and we're going to work those down here. So let's get all right, so we got our cutting done, and what we're going to do is we are going to have this 8x8 block over here, and then we're going to have this 4x8 kind of over here on the offset, and then we're going to have these 4x4 squares. We're just gonna get those just like so. And I did bring some borders, so because I want to use my tools, and what I did is I used this white cap border punch, and then I used the footprint border maker cartridge, and I created those. Like I said, I wanted to, with my album, I want to be able to incorporate, you know, different tools, different techniques, and that's just one of my goals. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the borders right on the bottom, like so. And then we will, because I did cut these down just a smidge smaller, and I'm not going to mat those. And let's see here, we'll have hubby and I up on top, and then we'll kind of do that. And then I have this, it's like a 3.5 by 3.5 I'm going to have set over to the side. And then with these, and you know, I did have this already cut out for a title, so I thought maybe we could use that instead of one of these. So let's just, I'm gonna swap those around because he's a little taller and I didn't want to have too much of that cut off. So I thought instead of having one of the circles up here, I will use that as a title. And then what I'll do is I'm going to cut this 4-inch one. I'm going to cut that in half, and let's cut that in half. We'll get our little, nope, I don't want that one. I want this one. And we'll just kind of watch the orientation and cut that in half. And then we can put, we'll just kind of slide it kind of under over here just to bring that color over. And then what we'll do is we'll kind of put this over, if I can get it, kind of right on that. So then it kind of has a little bit of, you know, dimension, and then we'll come in and do our embellishing. So let's adhere and we'll be right back. All right, so we have everything adhered. As you see, I put the 8 by 8 square down here, and then there is a 4 by 8, and then I cut the circle and I adhered them just like so, and then I adhered my border, and then I have my 4 by 4 blocks. There's 3 of each color, and I didn't mat those photos. I just left them alone. And now let's bring in our embellishing. So I did decide this, make your own sunshine. I thought, you know, let's just go with that. We'll put that up there. And then, so what I have been buying over the last several months, different things from different companies, and I bought this from Stampin' Up, Seaside Wishes, and it has stamps, and then it has die cuts and an embossing folder. I'm new to all this, so I did just a little bit and I had fun with it. And then I have a bunch of different dies from different companies as well. That's why I'm intermixing Creative Memories and Stampin' Up with other ideas. So I have always been Creative Memories 100%, and I am wanting to kind of expand and try some different things. So that's why you're seeing a little bit different die cuts and not so much of the collection stickers, just because I was limited on what I had. So and what I did is when I stamped and embossed these, and I have some Distress Oxide that I'm learning, and I just kind of sponged over those. They're not perfect by no means, but it, you know, just kind of gives it a little bit of a dirtier look. And then this one I stamped with that same color with the Distress Oxide. So I'm learning, and then some different die cuts and such. So I figure we could kind of start building. We could have, I'm just here, let's move those out of the side. You know, I figure we could have like something down here, and then we could try and, you know, kind of put something down here, and then maybe a few things up here, like a small little cluster of some sort. Different sizes, and that's always fun for different ideas. And then they have, I did cut a few of these different sprigs from one of the ones. I think that die cut was from maybe Temu or Amazon, so I can throw some of those random sprigs up in here. I didn't do a ton of them, you know, because I am a simple scrapper, I just kind of maybe something like so, maybe have a little, no, I don't want a sprig over there. We'll just kind of leave that right now, and then kind of work our way around. And they have different little seashells and coral like sand dollars, and I did stamp those, and I did the same with the Distress Oxide. I'm not sure, they kind of got a little off kilter, but I don't think that my family or anybody will ever notice that they're not perfect. And then I'm just moving that, you know, just kind of playing to see how we want to cluster all of this stuff. I've gotten a lot of different ideas from the wonderful creators out there, and I appreciate the inspiration I am receiving. So and you see I have a whole bunch of different little die cuts here too, so we'll kind of play around and see how we can get this to look, and we'll kind of go from there. I don't know if I really want, maybe I'll just put a few little gems up in that area. I could cluster something up there. So, all right, we'll stay tuned. All right, so we have adhered everything, and I have, you know, a few of the different little embellishments left, and I think it turned out okay for my really first time incorporating some dies and stamps and my Creative Memories border makers. This is what I have left, and I was pretty pleased the way it turned out. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments if you guys do mix and match your products with, you know, Creative Memories. And obviously Close to My Heart is closed, but we have a lot of new advisors from over there, and I love seeing their technique, and it's opened up a big box of exciting things for myself, and I am only ready to keep going and try different things. I still like to keep things simple, so stay right there. I'm going to show you just a few. I'm going to lift these up, and I'll just kind of bring that a little closer, you know, you just see the little ink that I did. I didn't do anything else inking. Only the little sand dollars, and then oops, there's one that I didn't adhere, that didn't. And then, you know, this was one of the stamps, and then some die cuts, and I decided not to put any of little embellishments, but I want to show you what I have worked on in between. So let's put those aside, and I usually work in chronological order for my trips, so I just, that's how my brain works. And so this was Passport to Adventure, our travel. This was used our postage stamp and some embellishments. This was our flight to Honolulu. And there's, here, I'll just, in case you guys want to screenshot. So, and then I will share this one. I got inspiration from a new Creative Memories advisor. Her name is Nicole Norris, and she does fabulous work. And you know, this technique has been around for quite a while, and I love using our jumbo custom cutting system with our border punches and our border maker cartridges. So that's always a fun technique, and if you are new with me and you would like to see that, just let me know. And then these were just some older embellishments from Creative Memories. And then this one, this was our hotel, and I did our title over here on the right. I usually do it on the left. Here's a little journaling area. This was super simple. I just had some scrap paper, and I used like a 1-inch and maybe a 5.5, and then I used our border maker. So again, very simple. And then this one, obviously, we did in I have a video in the Hawaii series. So all right, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and you are excited as I am about trying different techniques, and I will always stand 100% behind my Creative Memories. I just am enjoying incorporating different things along with it, and maybe in a couple videos or so I'll share with you what I've got with you know, some different inks and some of my die cuts, if anybody is interested in that. So all right, you guys take care, have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Bye bye now.